Welcome, everyone. Gonna run some trains for a little bit while people join. Oh, yikes. Nope. 1225 just lost its traction tires. That's not fun. Oops. The catenary system is ever not dependable, so that's great. Choosing an electric might not have been the best idea for today. But I am sticking to it. We'll see what happens. All right, go ahead and bring a trains to a stop, and we'll get started with the stream. Alexa, turn off the trains. All right, everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel here. Oh boy, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I kind of forget how to do them. Hoping you guys are going to be nice to me today. All right, how goes it, YouTube lands? It is Maxrailroad here, back up on near the layout. Been a while since I've done anything on YouTube, so it's nice to see everybody. And I'm here today just for a general stream, open the floor up for some Q&A. We'll talk trains, we'll talk about what I've been doing with my life since I haven't been on YouTube in a while, run some more trains, and have some fun. So, with that being said, welcome everyone. Feel free to drop some messages in the chat. I see a lot of awesome people out there in the chat. Ryan Merrill, the star train master, or engineer at Amtrak. Blake George, the expert of Thomas for the Penn State Model Railroad Club. And then Garrett Monin, the star photographer for anything Panhandle. And Jonah Collins, just my side piece. But yeah. Uh-oh. Alrighty. So guys, a little bit about what I've been doing for the past couple months. It's been a very busy semester up at Penn State, enjoying every minute of it though. Aside from academics, because no one wants to hear about that, and I'm on break, so I don't want to talk about schoolwork. Been doing a lot of really cool things with the Penn State Model Railroad Club. I'm now the vice president of said organization, and it's been really awesome to find a way to integrate trains into my academic life. And something that I think is really interesting is that a lot of people in the Model Train Club are not actually die-hard train enthusiasts like myself. And it's pretty cool to see how a lot of people can come together over something that they have in common. Everyone has this little interest for trains, all to varying degrees, but at the end of the day, we all like trains enough to be in an organization and dedicate some time to the greater good of model railroading, whether it be working on a display or having a discussion on campus somewhere. It's pretty cool to see how we can all come together and educate one another about, again, more depth of passion. Because, I mean, I'm definitely on the higher end of knowing stuff about trains because I'm kind of a nerd, in case you guys haven't realized. So it's been really cool to share some of my knowledge and learn from other club members, too. So that's one of the things I've been doing. Thank you to Reading Railroad Rail fan. We are Penn State. Let's see, what else can I talk about? HO scale, yeah, so that's a thing. It's crazy to say, but I'm well into my transition into HO scale. As much as I love O gauge, and this layout isn't going anywhere, again, I'll say that I have a lot of people asking me when this layout's going to be torn down. No, it's not. I'm staying here. As long as this house is up, this layout will be up. But HO scale's been super cool to play around with. I've been doing a lot of research into manufacturers, a lot of work with the ESU Loc Programmer, which is one of the coolest pieces of technology out there in the model train hobby. And it's been really cool to see this other aspect of the hobby that I've been pretty yet to explore. And I'm really enjoying learning more about HO scale. If you put a model railroad in front of someone who's a model railroader, they're going to do stuff to it. It doesn't really matter what scale. I mean, at the end of the day, when I look at this, I don't see all the things that make it a three-rail layout. I just kind of see a model railroad, and I enjoy that. So I would say conforming to one scale is kind of a early way of thinking about things. I mean, I guess primarily I'd still call myself an O-gauger because I have an O-gauge layout and I don't have an HO scale layout. But it's just been really cool to explore this other scale and kind of see what else is out there. And in the future, I'm definitely going to be building an HO layout as opposed to an O-gauge layout going forward. So yeah, model trains are pretty cool. See if we got anything going on in the chat. Oh, Ryan Merrill says his baby sends her bestest, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Ryan. Hey, running Railroad Rail fan, you should check out the model train club over at main campus too, because we can't really do much with those in the Altoona campus for a lot of our events, but we'd still love to have you in our group chats and whatnot. So definitely look into that. Yeah, it feels good to be back on YouTube. Moving forward, actually, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this stream is to actually sort of gauge interest, see how many people out there still care about this channel. And judging by how many people are in the stream right now, it's not that many, but that's okay. I kind of took a little bit of a break, and I'm willing to accept the consequences of that. But moving forward, I'm hoping to sort of bring some new life back into the Maxrailroad YouTube channel and just the Maxrailroad brand altogether. I'd really like to work to become a bit more involved in the model train community and the real train community as far as the social aspects of it, and help spread the good word that, you know, trains are a lot more than just this old thing in the past that people like to leer on. And I think that by doing some fun things on different social media platforms, YouTube included, I can really help show the world that, you know, trains have something to offer, and then also show the model railroad world that there's a lot of cool things going on that you might not know about. So going forward, there's going to be some new stuff coming from this YouTube channel and also coming from my other social media platforms. So if you don't follow Maxrailroad on Instagram, Facebook, Flickr, and yes, TikTok, you should check it out. It's going to be a pretty exciting thing. What advantages and disadvantages? I got a question in the chat from the Running Railroad fan. After having experienced both scales, what do you see as the advantages and disadvantages of both scales? That's a great question. And something that I have been thinking about a lot, just because, you know, I have a lot of people ask me, which do you prefer? And I mean, at the end of the day, the biggest advantage in HO scale for me is the variety. There's a lot more manufacturers in the world of HO scale than there are in O scale, so there's a lot more unique trains out there, and a lot more, you know, competition in the marketplace, which encourages competitiveness and encourages innovation. So with that in mind, you'll see a lot of interesting stuff coming out of HO scale that is driven by that competitive factor, because the manufacturers got to stay on their toes and work to be ahead of the other ones, so their products have an upper hand as opposed to the others. So that's something that's been really interesting to watch from the outside, just sort of seeing how this competition plays into what this manufacturers are doing. And you know, that's not something that you see in O-Gauge, just because there's only one real major manufacturer left in O-Gauge at this point, which I would say is Lionel, since MTH is sort of in limbo and Atlas is still working to you know, take on their tooling. So it's cool to see the competitiveness. Now I will say, as far as my pursuits have come, I don't think anything in the model train world will ever top the feel of a legacy remote in my hand. I mean, that Lionel seriously hit 1,000,000 home runs right there. That is just the pinnacle of a well-designed throttle. And it works so well, it looks great, it feels great in your hand, everything is super accessible. The legacy remote is something that definitely I miss in HO scale, and I'm a big fan of how it works, and yeah, that's one thing I do miss, having a legacy remote. Now that being said, HO scale has a lot more to offer when it comes to control, because DCC is a whole other animal that I've been working with. I mean, for one, the idea of different manufacturers' locomotives working together, that's totally alien to me as an O-Gauge guy, because in O-Gauge, you know, you pretty much have a manufacturer and you run exclusively that manufacturer, or you kind of find a way to make the systems work together a little bit like I did, but it'll never be perfect, because I mean, my DCS never really works, especially when there's a lot of Lionel engines on the layout. So it's pretty cool to see how the different manufacturers and the different locomotives can all work together at the end of the day. And I'm a big fan of that. I love being able to mix and match manufacturers for locomotives and whatnot, and different types of decoders. So I would say electronically and variety-wise speaking, HO definitely has an upper hand. O-Gauge is definitely better in some things. Like, I mean, the legacy remote is one thing, but also, I mean, I'm kind of a klutz, and I definitely do like the size of O-Gauge better, but, you know, where I'm at in college, having an O-Gauge layout with realistic radii and stuff like that isn't really possible with the space that I have at my disposal. So that's why HO scale is a bit more achievable. But yeah, there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to adding the scale. I'm not saying that one's better than the other. I'm just saying that they're very different, and it's really entirely up to your personal preferences, and it takes a lot of research to find the right scale. That being said, I'm very happy with HO scale, and I'm glad that I made this endeavor into a new scale. Got 10 people watching now. Thanks to everyone who's liked the stream. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Like I said, later today we're going to be doing some more running on the trains, and I've got a couple other things to talk about, including some HO scale stuff that I wanted to show off for you guys, and also some new HO products that I recently picked up that I think would be cool to check out. So we'll let a couple more questions flow in, and then we'll get to work on doing some other fun stuff. Hope everyone is having a good Thanksgiving break if you're home home from college or whatnot. And I hope everyone has a good holiday lined up for them. Thanksgiving's always been a favorite holiday of mine, just because it's a real no strings attached holiday, just eating a lot of food, and I really like food. So yeah. All right. Well, while some more people join the stream, I figure I'll show this off. Something that I'm working on while I've been home is this little HO scale display piece. And this has been my primary focus since I came home from break last week. Working on this little display module right here. It's HO scale. It's nothing much, just a little piece of flex track with some scenery carved into it. And I've been working on finishing it up because I am intending on using it on for some future projects, including a lot of those videos I was talking about. I'm starting a series pretty soon where I'll be making model train reviews in a more abbreviated form to work with YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. And I'm going to be using this little display right here as a sort of base for that. And I've got one of Rapido's new X31A boxcars modeled on it. Really beautiful car, by the way. Look at that detailing. Seriously, how cool is that? It's got a really nice weight to it, too. Great car. I'll just try to put it on the road. Wow. Okay. But yeah, this is something I've been working on, and I'm really proud of how it came out. I think it's really pretty. I love the fall colors that I did with it. I'm really excited to do some more photography with this. Definitely check out my Instagram if you haven't done so already, because I posted some photos with it the other day. Go ahead and move this car out of the way so I can pick it up and show you guys. Yeah, look at that. There's a family of deer over here. I really went all in out in the detail. I wanted this thing to be a really comprehensive piece so you know what scenery can look like. Telephone poles. These are made by Woodland Scenics, and they are strung too, which I think is really cool. A whole bunch of trees lined around. For the road here, this is cork with a piece of paper on top of it, or a piece of like crafting paper, something a little heavier than like your usual printer paper. And then I just put some Woodland Scenics black top coat down on it, and I'm really pleased with how that came out. It looks really good. I'm probably not going to mark this road up. This is supposedly, like, to me, this was more like a backcountry scene, just like, you know, your idyllic branch line type deal. So I don't think that you would need striping on this road. Sort of just, you know, one of those that's way out there. But yeah, this is something I've been working on, and I'm pretty proud of this. You can definitely expect to see this in some upcoming videos over here on YouTube and on every other Maxrailroad platform. So yeah, that's been pretty cool. I saw someone in the chat ask if I've been doing any work on the layout since I got home, and I've been mostly focusing my effort on this module, because when I got home, it was pretty much just a blank slate. But there is one thing that I haven't done yet, but I'm hoping to do either before I go back or during winter break, and that is back over here. If you look back by the crossing on the way back, you might see it. There's some crossing gates over there that are tipped over. Way in the back there where where the road with the primitive striping is. Yeah, so those are going to be... I got some crossing gates to put back there, and I'm excited to get those up. I think that'll look really nice once it's there. But yeah, that's one thing that I'm going to try and get done. I've been also working on cleaning the layout a little bit, doing some vacuuming, dusting. I cleaned the track yesterday, which is good. And hoping to do just a little bit more touch-ups here and there wherever I can. But at the end of the day, the O gauge layout, it takes a lot of time to do work on it, mostly just because it involves a lot of prep and a lot of moving around and whatnot. And while I'm been home, I've been trying to focus on some other things, not even train related. Been having some, just visiting family and seeing friends and stuff like that. But hoping to have some more time to work on this either over winter break or closer to the end of Thanksgiving break. But yeah, that's been what I've been doing while I've been home. See if we got anything else going on in the chat that I missed. That is not able to connect to the modular layout. Reading Railroad fan asks. That is more just a piece for display. The modular layout that I've been building in HO scale, sort of an industrial switching layout. So unfortunately, that doesn't really have a place there. But you can actually power that track up. I cleaned the track enough so it can carry an electrical current if you just hook 2 jumper wires up to it. Yeah, that's honestly something I've been considering doing for just like testing engines, running them backwards and forwards on a little stretch track. The one thing I will say, it's kind of weird. The track is slanted a lot, so no, I should say I didn't actually build that thing from scratch. A friend of mine gave that to me with just the track and the foam down, and I did the rest of the scenery and whatnot. But the track is laid, it's slanted down at a pretty significant grade, so whenever you put a freight car on there, you kind of have to either derail it or like really be careful and lodge it in there, or it'll roll right off. It's kind of funny. But yeah, it's at a pretty steep grade, which I guess it could be good if I wanted to do like a test to show how free rolling a freight car is, but yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and get some trains running. I've got the Nickel Plate Road 765 also queued up in the back, so let's go ahead and rip that one out, and yeah, let's more people flow in. Alexa, turn on the trains. Oh. Whoops. Kind of just smashed a train. It happens sometimes. What Wouldn't be a stream from me if something didn't go catastrophically wrong, so I guess we're on track here. Something I've noticed is that a couple of my switches are giving out. Don't really know why, but it's a problem. GG1's kind of having issues right now. I'm just going to let that one sit for a little bit. made this work last time. Let's see if we can make this work today. Whoops. Yeah, I could have seen that one coming. Oh well, it was a good try. Alexa, turn off the trains. Again, it would not be a Maxrailroad stream if something did not go catastrophically wrong. I'm very good at I'm a prime example of what happens with Murphy's Law. But yeah, the GG1 seems to be having issues with one of its couplers. So, whoops. It's all right, though. We can still have a good stream. We'll get some other trains on in a little bit. Let me just look through the chat. Feel free to have any questions, just pop them on in. I see Sam Schwartz is in the group. Sam is she's better known as the chief of scenery of Maxrailroad Incorporated. So Sam, thank you for coming here. Thank you for putting a cat on the roof of my station building. Kiski Falls Railroad, how's it going? Good to see you back. Matthews O-Scale Trains, what's going on, man? Welcome, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. So yeah, just to keep everyone updated. It's been a little while since I've been on YouTube, mostly just because I've been busy with school, and quite frankly, there wasn't too much to make content on that I could think of at the time. But going forward, there's going to be some new stuff coming out from this channel, and also from Maxrailroad across other social media platforms, so stay tuned. I'm also looking forward to making a return to Strasbourg pretty soon for some work. I've got a really exciting trip planned for this winter with some buddies. We're heading out to see the Pure Marquette 1225 for the first time ever. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be an awesome trip. Got 10 people in the stream right now. 9. It's all right. I'm curious, honestly. I wonder what the demographic is in the chat. So, just thinking about it, what's everyone age-wise? I feel like there's a lot more younger guys out there than there are older guys in this this particular niche of the hobby. So, just curious about that. I've been thinking a lot about where the key demographics in this hobby are. So that's something I've been thinking about a lot. For looking forward. Where this hobby's going to go. Thoughts on Lionel's number 90? That's going to be an awesome train. That'll probably be one of the last O-gauge purchases I make, just because I've got a connection to 90. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting one. I think I have a lot of faith in the line now that they're going to do a good job on it, just because it seems like they've been doing an awesome job at sort of turning their bad luck spree around. So that's going to be really cool to see how it comes out. Definitely looking forward to getting mine. I personally got the egg version, one of the older ones, just because that's a much prettier era in Strasbourg's history, I think. So that'd be pretty cool to model. Looking forward to that. I did not go to York this time around, no, unfortunately. Mostly due to COVID reasons. I just didn't think it was safe to go just yet. But for those who did, I hope you all had a good time. And I might be going to some of the Yorks in the near future, which would be awesome because York was always such a blast. Being young at heart is what being a model railroader is all about, so don't worry about that. I mean, it's funny. I was at a photo charter the other day at the Everett Railroad, and there was a pretty clear divide. It was younger guys like myself, people like 25 and under, and then there was a pretty significant gap, and then a lot of guys who were older, maybe like low 40s, 50s, somewhere around there. So it's interesting to see a lot of people say the hobby is slowly dying off, and it's definitely true that trains aren't as popular as they were years ago. There's a lot of guys out there like me who are on the younger end of things and are really really passionate and really work hard to keep the hobby going. So I've got a lot of faith that this hobby's going to be around for a lot longer than a lot of the old heads like to think. I'm looking forward to continuing the legacy however I can. That is something that I've been thinking about a lot, just because, when I think about my future, this hobby of not only model trains, but just railroading in general, is largely what my future is based on. Because in the professional world, I'm hoping to do something in this regard, whether it's working with passenger railroading, working with a model railroad manufacturer, or working with a historical organization, something like that. Trains are always probably going to be a part of my life, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where the hobby takes me, and how long this hobby is really gonna be able to string me on for. Something else I've been working on, or playing around with at least, is down here on the HO scale side of things. If I drop the camera down a little bit. So I mentioned to you guys that in HO scale I've been fooling around with a technology called the Loc Programmer, and the Loc Programmer is definitely one of the more interesting pieces of technology in the hobby. It's essentially a way for you to write your own data to a decoder in an HO engine, and decoders are pretty much just the electronics inside for those who aren't familiar with HO scale. So, anyways, these two engines right here. Alexa, turn on the lights. There we go. These two engines right here I just recently wrapped up my programming with, and along with giving them a much more accurate GE sound file, and also some other interesting sound features like random effects and stuff, I've been working on having some fun with it too. So if I go ahead over to these engines right here, so those who are fans of the I Heart Toy Train series will recognize these sounds. Oh no. That's something I've been pretty excited with. I don't know how well that sound came over to you guys on YouTube, but yeah, the Loc Programmer is a really cool piece of technology for a lot of reasons. but it just gives you a lot more customization over over your engines, and that's something that I really like about HO. It's a way you can it has a lot of technology in it to really customize your locomotives and make them your own, as opposed to just factory models that you get out of a box and you play with. But yeah, so if you have a look at this, if I turn on the headlight to the lead locomotive here, number 10,006, you'll notice this. And I don't turn on the prime mover sound. Gives you that good alarm bell sound per the prototypes. And I can go ahead and give it a startup. HO really just has a lot of ways to make these engines your own, and it's really fun for me to be able to program them to do certain things when I want, and have all these custom features embedded in. And there's a lot more sound options too. Like, for example, if I do, this is my NC remote right here. If I go on in, I can go to function number 22. There's a sound for the door opening and closing, which I think is pretty cool. You know, just all those random sounds just really make it interesting. And if I come over here to number 10,021, I saw someone in the chat mention Buster, so this locomotive might appease to that crowd. I think it's pretty funny. Anywho, but yeah, another cool thing about these engines is the ability to program random functions in. So if you just heard some clicking coming from this engine, I have them programmed so that whenever they're sitting idle like this with the power off, the doors will randomly open and close to just, give that added realism. Like there's some crew members on the engines walking around, working on them or whatnot. And it's pretty fun to just be able to, once again, customize these engines, make them your own, and add a bit more realism to them. That's something you don't see in O-Gauge, and that's something that really came as a welcome change for me, because I really do love being able to customize my own trains to make them have that special Maxrailroad touch. But yeah, I saw a couple questions rolling on the chat. Let's just scroll back. Hi, Harry. Dude, no way. It's Harry Warren. Hey, welcome, Zach. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, TCS is also a really good system. I have a couple engines with their decoders, and I'm a fan. It's cool how they've sort of integrated audio into the programming. And it's a very promising technology. I'm more partial to ESU personally, but TCS is a very close second for my favorite types of decoders. Hey, welcome, Mitchell. Thanks for coming out, bud. Oh, nice, Sean. Yeah, those are my childhood right there. Watching Jeff with his toy trains, that is most definitely what secured trains is a rock in my life. But anyways, guys, if you've ever wondering what's underneath the layout here, this is what it is. Here's what I found from yourdictionary.com underneath. I don't know why my watch just Siri'd, but underneath the layout, I've got a loop of HO track that I use for programming and speed matching purposes. And I've got I just got this awesome train of tank cars from Scale Trains. So I got these out here on the layout right now, just to see what it looks like with a train, and it's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's certainly nothing compared to my O-gauge setup, but I like having this ability to work with both scales simultaneously, even if the HO scale one's a little primitive, but it's no big deal. All right, I guess I'll go ahead and fire these guys up and let them pull some tank cars around. Might as well. Sound quality on these ESU decoders is just fantastic. Like, there's so many different sound profiles loaded onto their website, and they're all so great. Alright, a little bit of HO action for you all. Yeah, it's pretty fun having both scales over here, and I've really been enjoying learning more about HO. Alright guys, we're coming up on an hour here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Oh wait, real quickly, Reading Railroad fan asks, on my test track down here, these are 22-inch radius curves. Any questions I mixed? All right. Well, yeah, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all those who showed out today, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Stay tuned for some more content coming soon, hopefully, and I'll see you all next time. See ya.